Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to welcome Allie Smith to the nonprofit shout out interview of the week. I'm Ryan Lanier with Organizing for Good, and it's just one of my passions to share the missions, learn about nonprofits, and try to get as much groundwork involvement to help them further the missions, because it is a challenge in any year, especially this year. So I want to say hello, Allie, welcome, and please say, who you are and where you're representing and how you guys got started.
Of course. My name's Allie Smith, and I work at Helping Hand Home for Children. We're located in Austin, Texas, and I am the donor relations manager here. I've been here for a couple years now. I couldn't be prouder of a mission, and I couldn't be prouder of an organization that I work for. We serve right now up to 41 children. We actually have 35 children that live here, and we are a residential treatment center. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a center that serves wraparound treatment for children who have gone through severe emotional and physical abuse. A lot of these children have come to us and with goals of reunification with families. Many of them are actually looking for adoptive families as well. Mm-hmm. And in that realm, we also have a fantastic foster and adoption department. Mm-hmm. Right now we're serving 57 families, but I would say on average around 150 families a year. And those children range anywhere from newborn to 18 years old. And we really pride ourselves in the families that we serve and the parents that we get to train and place children with. But yeah, that's kind of who we are. And we've been around for a really long time. We've been around since 1893.
Wow.
So we're at, yeah.
You guys are winning. You're the oldest one. I'm just a little bit older than the settlement home for children. So
we are just a little bit older, and we absolutely love the settlement home. We partner with them a lot, and sometimes some of our girls actually ends up transitioning to the settlement home as well. Our age range for children are from 4 to 12. We do sometimes have some 13-year-olds here. Mm-hmm. And right now, our youngest that I know of is 7, and he's a little guy, so he's pretty cool. But all of the kids here are fantastic. Getting to see them every day, and everything our staff does is amazing. But we've like I said, been around for 127 years, and we have a pretty strong name in the community of just the care that we give these kids. And our mission. We could go over our mission statement, but really it's just to make a child again. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think we've stood with for 127 years. And we started because a woman found a baby on a railroad track. And yeah, in the Hyde Park area, not too far from where our campus is now. And word spread, and then other kids started showing up, and people started dropping kids off. And so this woman rallied her friends, and it's pretty cool. The legacy that's still passed down from these women today are still connected with us, and we call them our Helping Hand Home Society. And they're our backing. They're serve on all of our committees. They're our board. We have a female-run board, and those are still the society members today. A large monetary backing as well. So it's a phenomenal legacy that's been passed down, and how we started and how we still are remaining in this area of Austin. It's pretty historical.
Right. That's something to really consider, considering what the real estate department is, going now. So it's amazing.
Yeah. No, I believe, and sometimes I feel like I don't forget this right, but we were the first established nonprofit in the state of Texas. So
wow. Yeah. There were some pioneers back there, and love hearing that they were women. And
yes, that's what's so cool. That's my favorite part too.
Yes. Well, one of my favorite things I've learned over and over with these interviews is when someone just saw a need and then created an entity to address the need. I mean, the first one that ever came to my attention really was the Austin Diaper Bank, where she just saw that need and started, and taking care of children, abandoned children in need, huge, children in general. It's incredible. It's incredibly hard work, no doubt. And can you go into how you had to make changes now that, 2020 has done what it has done with the world.
Absolutely. And how it just is still sticking around.
Yes, right. Continually making challenges,
yes.
there's no doubt.
Truly, I always say, like, I could have never given thousands of dollars to say it would last this long. I remember in March when all this was happening, I was like, well, this probably will last until June, and then I'm watching the news. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna.
Right.
And here we are.
More than we bargained for.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So an unfolding of pivots. So
an unfolding of pivots that we are still maneuvering around.
Yes.
I think a big one for us was having to shut our campus down to our visitors, and visitors include all of our volunteers that work with the kids. And that includes people from all different realms. We have fantastic volunteers that back Helping Hand Home, and we have a really special program where they're able to interact with the kids on so many different levels. And so those kids became really close with those volunteers, and we have a buddy program where each person is assigned to a child to meet a week. And those kids have missed. We've started, doing virtual buddy meetings. Of course, it's not the same, but
no.
And
but
on top of
viable, yeah.
It took us a little bit to really make that decision, because just like everyone else, we were saying, well, we're going to be back open. We're going to be back open. And safety is our main priority. And so when we explain that to people, we're like, listen, like we have children's lives on the line. Right. And we have 40 young lives, and then the staff that worked so hard. And so it's like, this is our priority, and our doors are closed until anyone else says so.
Right.
Yeah. And it's been interesting. And then also with the children that still have rights that remain with their families. And we do have a percentage of those children. So they're not able to see their families in person, which has been really tough. And that's again been and I can't imagine as a child, I say when I'm talking to people now, like, our children are no strangers to social distance, because they're already distanced from their loved ones. So if we need to ask,
it's my heart.
When you think about it, it's true. It's like, maybe I should be asking these kids for advice on how to get through this year, because they know better than anyone. And then to remove those other pieces as well was a big challenge for us. But I believe the kids, honestly, their behaviors have all been down, which is extreme. Like, that's amazing. They've all really had a sense of unity, is what a lot of the direct staff have told me. And they've kind of come together and formed this really special bond. I would imagine for a child, it's really hard to understand what's going on. So
for sure, yeah.
I think when you hear that it's a whole and not just you individually, they're like, oh, okay. And then they're trying to figure out, well, why does everyone's face have covered now? Where's my buddy? Why can't I FaceTime my mom? Or why can't my mom be here? So those were big challenges that we had to face directly with the kids. And then with our foster care program, I met with our foster care director, and she was like, it's been really hard, because these families are stepping up, and then now they're asked to be everything for these kids. Not only are they asked to be, foster parents, but now they're stay at home, or they're working from home, and now they're teachers. And these kids don't know these people when they come to their homes many times. So it's like they're in a strange new home. They can't just go out and hang with their friends. So it's been something, again, we maneuvered with. Our case managers did virtual visits with our kids for a while. And I believe they're visiting in person now for weekly and biweekly visits. But it was just like, what are we going to do? And there were a lot of positives that came out of it. And there are a lot of things we're still trying to maneuver, like our fundraising side. Our events are virtual. We have an event next week, actually, and it's virtual.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. Well, can you tell me about that? Do you want to finish that thought? And then I do want to hear about the event.
Absolutely. It's just things that have gone virtual. We were in the middle of a capital campaign as well. And that has been delayed. Like, we were supposed to have breaking groundwork done in, this summer, and now we're here. And, and we're all in the same boat in Austin and as a community. And again, like, we're just so blessed to have the people that have reached out to us and served us and served our children. So that's been our big takeaway, but there are always things that we're like, what are we gonna do? You know?
Right. A lot of rethinking, a lot of, I think just sort of taking what the reality is and saying, okay, with this, we just can't change. So let's get creative.
Yeah. Creativity. I feel like the people who are creative are just thriving right now and have become the real leaders, in organizations, because some things I heard, I was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And like, there are things that just, from our staff and our team, we came up and we did virtual blogs and video updates for people to stay in touch that couldn't be here. We, like I said, our event is going virtual, and that was a lot of mind racking of how are we going to do this with around a 1,500 person event.
Right.
And we're going from the JW Marriott to people's homes and offices now.
Right.
So.
Right. I think people are kind of getting used to that now, and in a weird way. Like, I think people will be surprised when the events start becoming in person again. We're like, oh yeah, it's virtual. And so that's a good thing. People are getting a little bit used to that. So, well, my next question is, what are some of your major events? What are some major ways that people from their homes can help support you and the children?
Absolutely. This couldn't have been any better timing, honestly. Our event is next Thursday, and it's called Champions for Children Luncheon. And it's something that we have just always, what our luncheon is it's serving the caregivers and the heroes behind children's lives in Austin. So we honor recipients that are other organizations in Austin that have done the hard work of advocating for children. We typically honor a fantastic volunteer group or entity that has been here with us for some time. And we honor a few other people, and it's really just a time that Scott Hamilton is our speaker this year. And if for those of you who don't know him, he is an Olympic gold medalist skater, and he has he's fostered children, and he also was a foster child. And so he's going to have a fantastic message for everybody, and it's going to be a really cool event.
Great.
But if you go on our website under events, there's a way that you can access the link next week on Thursday noon. And it's, it won't take up too much of your time, but it does go over our mission as well and the children that we serve and our population of children. So it's a great way to be introduced as well to Helping Hand Home, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so. I hope that goes amazingly. I will definitely be sharing.
We do too, Ryan. We do too. We really do. It was something we're like, we can't, this is too valuable to us to cancel. And so, but parts have been moving, and we've been, it's been doing it's going pretty well. So we're actually really excited.
That's great. Now, so there's fundraising options. Are there ways that you support via volunteerism? Do you take donations? Do you have an Amazon Smiles link? Any of those things?
Yes, we do. So if you go to our page, honestly, I say, and I can give anyone my email, my contact. Sometimes we do have a wish list on our webpage. I think, and I tell this to people, I love interacting with new people. I love making connections to Helping Hand Home. Not only is my job, this place is truly like my passion. And so my favorite thing to do is actually connecting people to different outlets of what department needs what. So I meet with the directors of what do our foster care parents need right now? What do they need? And so we've had groups that have done school packs with fidgets and all certain like different things, because these kids are learning from home now. We did art kits, for our kids that live here as well. And we've had groups that are donating jackets because it's starting to get cold. And there are so many different, right now, I know, and this is just something, but if anyone contacts me, I would love to tell them. Right now, I do know that we're working on replacing our bicycles because, as you imagine, our kids have really overridden those.
Right, sure. Yeah.
So, and we can't have people that come on campus to fix them. Sometimes we have some awesome volunteers that do that. So right now we're like, well, we have a surplus of bikes. What's cool about our bike program is every single child that comes to Helping Hand Home gets a bike of their own. Their name is on the bicycle, and they get to take it with them once they're adopted or if they go back to their home setting.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we value our bicycle program, and we have an amazing, our residential director, he's actually been here for about 27 years, and his name is Chris Janowitz. And he is a big bike rider. Like, you see him, first off, all around like East Austin or around our campus riding bikes, but he will lead kids really like in and out through the neighborhood. You see this little like bike gang. And he really, yeah, it's pretty cute.
That's great.
And so he kind of came to me and was like, we need to replace a lot of these bikes. These kids are loving it, and cold weather doesn't stop them from riding their bikes. And so that's something, yeah. So we're working on that, but there are so many different ways because of the children that we do serve here and the families. And I'm so sorry I haven't said this, we also have a charter school on campus.
I was getting ready to say,
yeah.
where's school happening on campus? Yeah, please.
It's happening right here. So our teachers need things as well. Our teachers, it's a UT funded charter school, and our teachers are funded by UT as well, but the supplies typically come from us, and those are from donations that people can, purchase. And we've also been doing letters for the kids, and the kids will write letters back. So that's been a really cool thing. Yeah, for kids, they love seeing things with their names on them. That's been when I think from, where the backgrounds that our kids have come from, not many times they've had something of their own. So when they see something with their name on them, it means the world to them. So isn't that
fascinating? The things that, you would never have thought, what a blessing it is that just have never entered your mind, that would be something that would be so special. So that's a beautiful thing.
I would have never thought about that, especially, I just never thinking about my name. This is mine. And so that's why we pride ourselves too. And on the donation scale, we give all of our children brand new things, brand new bedding, brand new clothing, brand new toys, brand new bikes. Everything we give our children is new. And that's not to say that we are, up here with our donations. We love everything we get. We're so appreciative, but what our kids deserve, we believe, is a new start. And that starts with new things as a kid, right? And new toys and their own things. This wasn't somebody else's that they didn't want anymore. These kids deserve their own things and, their own childhood. So that's, and there's, so there's so many ways that people can get involved and, if you wanted to come up here, I always like to meet people. If people are comfortable, if they want to drop things off at our doorstep, that's always fine as well. But there are kits, we have with enrichment kits that we do with art activities with the kids. We have 5 different homes on our campus, and that's going to be the Longhorn home. And those are our newer kids, typically the more, the children with the stronger behaviors. And that's our only home that the children have their one-on-one rooms, which is what they need.
Right.
And then we have our Monarchs, which are our younger girls. We have our Eagles, which are our older boys. Our Armadillos are our younger girls. And then our Mustangs are our older girls. And in those 5 homes, typically around 8 to 12 kids will reside. And what's really neat about us as well is we have a 2.2 to 1 staff ratio at Helping Hand Home. Yeah. Wow. Whereas the state mandated level is 5 to 1. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's special. That's amazing. And no doubt that comes from a lot of hard work to be able to maintain that ratio. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And no doubt that increases success in the child from getting that type of intense, influence, I suppose, and love.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure it's love.
It is. I can't wait till we reopen so people can see it for themselves. Like, that's my favorite part of giving tours and introducing people to who we are, because there is no denying that when you step foot on our campus, that these children just have, it's just wrap around love. And like we say hope happens here, but like children's new beginnings happen here. And it's truly a place where a child becomes a child again. And children don't deserve to not be children. Children don't deserved to be neglected, abused, certainly don't deserve to be abandoned. And so we sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, they kind of like, they have these many events and this many volunteers. And like, I was like, no, but these children deserve everything in the world.
Gosh, yes.
Every child does. And so right now we're making up for lost time, and we're just, I just can't wait till people can see it for themselves.
Yeah. Oh, well, you certainly are in the right place. Like, I love everything that's shining through you when you talk about what you guys are doing there. And that just makes me glow as well. So
I get a little emotional, and I'm sorry.
Please. Me too. There have been many of these interviews where it's just too much. So I'm right there with you. So is there anything that I have not, asked you that you would want to cover before we close?
Covered, everything that I was hoping to share. And I just thank you so much for the time. I think really it's just, there's so many different ways, just because our campus is closed as well, for people to get involved with donations, or, we are opening virtual volunteering. There's those options. And I just ask also that people have us in their thoughts and prayers, because I love the rallying behind community of just even thinking, when people are like, oh my gosh, Helping Hand Home, I was wondering how you guys were doing during this time, even a phone call, and things like that. I think it's really encouraging to know of the backing we have, and to know that we cannot wait to either meet you or see you again soon.
Right. You're waiting to connect as soon as the green light has been given.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's great. I'm thank you for all this amazing information. I can't wait to compile it and get it out there. And thank you for your time today and all the time you give. Clearly, those children are very lucky to have you, and the army of people, you guys all working together. So I will end this interview before we start just bawling like a couple of
I know. I was like, I had to stop myself, because I was like, I'm about to start crying, and then I'm going to be like, people are like, oh gosh, maybe we need to give this girl some help.
No, not at all. It's your heart, no question. So anyway, well, thank you everybody for watching. Go to their website, check out all the ways that you can support them, and opening up even a connection, just a hey, how are you doing, means a lot to people working there and the kids, and we all need each other right now. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to bringing you our next interview next week. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you.